Hi Leo, and welcome to your Spirit Guide messages for August 2019. I'm going to start off by pulling a card to see which area of your life your Spirit Guides would like to bring focus and attention to for the month of August. Okay, so you guys have the sixth house. This is all about like your routine, your daily. So Leo, this means that something is about to change to your daily routine, or if you're feeling really stuck and kind of in a rut, it's time for you to really think about like how you can change certain thoughts, certain patterns of behavior. You know, what can you do in your life to improve it, to bring forth more happiness to you, okay? Because sixth house is, you know, like the routine, the mundane, the things that need our attention, our obligations, how we go about our daily business. And so that is changing in some way in August, Leo. So let's pull some dice to gain more insight about that. Ooh, nice, Leo. Look at this. I just want to point out the first two is this Ace of Wands with strength, and that is you right there. So, Leo, there is something changing, a new opportunity coming in, maybe unexpected. Or, Leo, if you have been feeling really in a rut, you know, and you want to change in your life, in your career, maybe you want to be healthier in your romance, you know, just wherever, it's like the motivation, if that's what you've been lacking, that's going to come in for you, okay? Because next out is this Knight of Wands. So that's a lot of fire energy. It's fast moving energy. Next out is Judgment, okay? And then the Page of Swords. So Leo, this lineup of dice, if you've been lacking the motivation mentally, emotionally, or physically, that's going to shift for you in August. You're going to have the motivation. You're just going to have this internal desire to make the changes in your life that you've been wanting to happen, okay? If you've been like holding back, procrastinating, being on the fence, you know, going back and forth in your mind about things, or just not feeling the energy and motivation to do it, that's all changing in August, and it's a very positive shift for you, okay? And you know, where you may need to really stand up for yourself or assert yourself, you're gonna do that. It's certain people that you might need to cut out of your life, you're gonna do that. You're just gonna feel very empowered. You're ready for change. And for some of you, Leo, it's like there's just some new opportunities knocking on your door kind of out of nowhere in August. And I don't have enough dice here to really gauge where that's taking place, but with the Ace of Wands, Knight of Wands, and the Page of Swords, those are opportunities. Those are doors opening, new paths forward, new people coming into your reality, okay? So let's pull some more dice. Okay, so we have the Five of Pentacles, we have the Six of Cups, we have the Five of Swords, and we have the Three of Swords. Okay, so Leo, this to me is where the change needs to come into play, because this is some heavy energy and there's a history to it, but also with the Six of Cups, it's like it can shift out of this like swords. So listen, some of you, this could be you know, with a particular person in your life, whether they're in your life currently or you guys aren't speaking at this point based on this, but some of you, there is a healing coming in, and I don't know if it's where you're finally going to speak your mind and say everything that you think and feel, and like really put your foot down. As somebody who, you know, isn't very kind to you, they're, you know, kind of rude and aloof, and like you don't have feelings, and they're just a jerk, especially verbally. Leo, I don't know. I just see you really standing up and rising up against this person and being like, no more. I'm not putting up with this. And that might be what's changing about your routine. If this is a coworker or a friend or maybe even a child or a romantic partner, it's like you're really going to put your foot down and facilitate the changes that need to take place. It's like you're not going to put up with it anymore. Okay, so anybody coming at Leo where you've really been enduring this and like struggling with it, you're not going to tolerate it. Like you're just going to, I don't know, turn into the lion there and put somebody in their place. Okay, for others of you, this could actually be where you had a bad falling out with somebody, and the forces that be here through judgment are bringing forth a reconnection. And I feel it's more to like communicate and actually, like, maybe you speak your side, they speak their side. It's for the communication aspect, this joining. Okay, it's for you guys to actually communicate and soften this heavy energy that exists between the two of you. Okay, because whatever this falling out is, it could very much be affecting you emotionally and mentally and preventing that motivation and things, you know, to move forward and be positive and whatever, you know. It's like there's a healing coming to that situation for some of you. All right, so yeah, because look, we are ending right here. And what are we ending? This burden, this feeling really just overwhelmed, baggage, scattered, stretched, unsure, on the fence. All of that is coming to an end, and there is like stability, you know, restoration of stability happening inside of you, Leo, or like externally in some area of your reality. The right there, something is coming to an end, and that's what changes, you know, your routine. And this could be negative thinking and feeling that you've been suffering with, and it's like finally the wheel is shifting and you're healing and you're not feeling so bogged down with those heavier emotions. Okay, and in that you have a clearer mind and you strive and push forward for things that you did not have the motivation to do so in the past. Okay, others of you, this to me is that where you're going to have some sort of communication or conversation with somebody, and like it's really been heavy energy for you and it's going to free you. Or some of you, you're just going to outright assert yourself, put your foot down, and maybe even cut certain people out of your life where you're like, no more, I cannot take you, like you're more stressed than you're worth. Okay, yeah. And lastly, we have the King of Cups. So Leo, this to me is really speaking more of your energy and how you feel by the end of August in this King of Cups, where you feel very strong and stable emotionally. You don't feel closed up and hardened. You're just in this nice flow. You're open. You are sociable. You want to interact. It's a very loving type of energy. Okay, and so by asserting yourself and really putting your foot down, for some of you, like it leads you to that, and you feel back in control of your world, of your experience, of your routine, of your daily, just, you know, whatever. Like you finally feel back in control of that, and a happiness and emotional contentment associated with that. Some of you, it's like you might have to like end a friendship. Maybe if you own a business, you might have to fire an employee. There's just this aspect here, Leo, where I see some of you need to cut somebody out of your experience or cut some behavior out of your experience. And there's a bit of sadness associated to that or around that, but it ultimately, Leo, it leads to the better good of you, better emotional and mental health of you, whatever needs to leave your experience, whether it's a person or a pattern of behavior. It's like you're really shedding some negative experiences, thoughts, energies, emotions in August, and rising up and just feeling very clear and emotionally sound and stable by the end of August. And there is something ending, Leo, in your experience, but I don't feel like this sadness is on you in that like deep, if there's sadness, like it's like, yeah, I'm gonna miss that person, or I'm not happy that this is how I have to handle this. But ultimately, like, you have a sigh of relief to you, where you're just like, oh, I'm at ease now. I don't have to worry. Those of you where we're gonna have some sort of conversation with somebody, you know, where it's, I don't know, Leo, some of you could have had a bad falling out with somebody, and you know, I feel like through that conversation there is a bit of balance that is restored and you guys are on good terms. Doesn't mean you're like back chummy, all happy with each other, but you're finally on good terms with each other, and like both of your hearts are at peace. Whereas before, I don't feel like that was the case, okay? So kind of a lot going on with those dice, Leo, but ultimately it's leading you to a positive place, and where you've needed motivation, like you're going to receive that this month. It's just going to feel very natural. So let's pull some more cards. All right, so focus on goals. Honor thyself. Positive energy shift, like that. And lastly, misunderstanding, my bad. Okay, so that right there, obviously these two speak to that, you know, person where I feel you're going to have a conversation, like you had a bad falling out, okay, and you guys are going to have a healing, and there's going to be a positive shift between the two of you, okay, so there's that. With honor thyself, Leo, for those of you where you feel like you're being held back, you're being hindered, or somebody's just really crappy to deal with in your experience, this right here is where I see you standing up to that person, okay, and really putting them in their place. And I don't feel like you're doing it in a rude, mean way. You're just finally speaking up for yourself and no longer willing to tolerate whatever it was, you know, and it may be like who the person was is why you kind of, you know, tolerated and kind of hung back, but it's like no more. You're not interested, and focus on goals. That's the confirmation of where I said those of you that feel like you've been lacking, you know, the motivation to push forward, to reach for your ambitions, things like that, or to make a shift and change in your life. Here it is, like it's coming in. It's going to be very natural, and you're just going to be more driven and focused on your goals, and, you know, loving yourself and having a positive experience in your life, being in this King of Cups energy. All right, as far as other people that are involved, could be water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, Scorpio here, potentially another Leo there, Aries or Sag, and then that to me, that just feels more of like the communication, conversation energy, Leo. So let's pull you some advice. And you know, Aries and Taurus also received that as their card. So, you know, potentially if you have a connection there. All right, so we have purification. Yep, Leo, this right here is that energy that is leaving whatever is ending for you. It needs to get out of your experience. And I've gone through all the scenarios, but there's the confirmation of that as your advice. Like, what needs to shift and change out, it's time, and you're going to have the motivation to do that, whether it's, you know, you have to stand up and assert yourself, you have to cut somebody out of your life, you have to have a healing conversation with somebody, or you need to just, you know, get rid of the different behaviors that hold you back from achieving your goals. Okay, so let's pull another card. All right, so dream sweet, sleep deep. Sleep that's deep and last till morn. Wondrous dreams for days reborn. Yeah, this to me, Leo, is really talking about the restoration to the peace inside your heart and mind and soul, especially coming through with that King of Cups right there. Also, pay attention to your dreams, Leo, when you're sleeping. There's maybe some insight that you're receiving in that. It's less of a message for me, but, you know, just in case you've been having some weird dreams, really pay attention to them, okay? So let's draw one final card here. Ooh, and look at that one was flipped over, the festival. What is that? Oh, creates an energetic blueprint for a fantastic party or event. So Leo, this is like you creating the blueprint for your life to be happier, to be fun, to be the things you want. And again, we've already talked about how you're doing that, but that to me is just the final confirmation, and that the magic that you've been seeking, the motivation that you've been needing, it's all coming in August, Leo. So those are your messages. I'm wishing you all the best. Take care.